15-Minute Mondays, your kickstart to week high-energy 15-minute episode on the Success Blueprint. I'm your host, Daniel Greg Johnson. Let's get right into it. Hello everybody, welcome back on the Success Blueprint. It is 15-Minute Monday time, and today we're going to keep it short and quick. I hope that you had a fantastic weekend. Today's episode, Authority Without Ego, Leading with Clarity, No Theatrics. Because real authority, tribe, doesn't shout, it doesn't posture, it doesn't need a stage. And please remember, this topic you can transmute it, not in the sense of the context, but in the sense of the area where you apply it. You can use it for personal life, for your relationships, for your peers. It doesn't matter. These topics can easily be used and frameworked for other areas of life. Authority without ego is clarity under pressure. Speaking plainly, committing specifically, and inviting the counter-argument before making the call. It's admitting mistakes faster than critiques can point them out and letting results speak louder than theatrics. And that is powerful. So in this episode, I'll show you how to strip ego from leadership so authority isn't demanded but earned. And that's what you want to achieve. What's the problem here? Too many leaders confuse noise with influence. They equate volume with power, jargon with intelligence, and theatrics with presence. But here's the problem that I want to share with you. Teams don't trust leaders who perform, they trust leaders who decide. Ego-driven leadership creates fragility. When you're wrong, you crumble because you've built your identity on being right. And authority without clarity leaves people paralyzed, second-guessing, and disengaged. Now take this, transform this into your relationships with your friends, with your partner. You can use this just as well. What are the symptoms? They are obvious. Meetings drag on because no one wants to commit. Same in a discussion with your partner in a relationship. Teams waste energy deciphering what the leader really meant. That's you and your partner having an argument, talking past each other. No one understands what the other one is actually trying to say because you're not listening to each other. Leaders avoid admitting mistakes, so the same errors repeat. That means you haven't discussed the topic properly with your partner. You don't really know what they want, how they want to be heard, how they want to be responded to. So you keep on making the same mistake again because you didn't listen in the first place. So what are the costs and consequences here? Very simple. Ego in leadership costs more than credibility. It costs performance. Decision paralysis is one of them. Teams wait while leaders posture instead of deciding. Trust erosion. People know when leaders are bluffing or covering. Once trust is gone, authority collapses. Same in partnerships, same with friends. Culture of fear. Ego demands loyalty and not results. People learn to protect egos instead of solving problems. If your partner, your peer, anyone is scared of you, they will do anything that you say, anything that you demand just to get out of that uncomfortable situation. So what are you really achieving? You're achieving nothing. And missed opportunities. Leaders obsessed with being right miss faster, cleaner pivots. Ego feels powerful in the moment. For everyone, that's usually how it goes, but it leaves leaders isolated, fragile, and easily replaced. And the same applies to you in your life. No one wants to be around a person like that. So let me share a 5-step framework as per usual with clear action steps. Step number 1, speak with plain language. Authority isn't hidden in jargon. Say what you mean in the simplest terms possible. Plain speech makes decisions actionable. And what action can you take here? Next time you brief your team, cut every unnecessary word. If a 12-year-old couldn't understand it, rewrite it. Step number 2, commit specifically. Ambiguity erodes trust. Everywhere in relationships, in leadership, at work, with your peers, friends, doesn't matter. Authority is proven in specific commitments. Who, what, by when. Same when you have the discussion with your wife. Who is going to wash what? The dishes. And by when. And then stick to it. What action can you take here? End every meeting with one sentence. Success today means X by Y. My happiness today can be achieved by you doing this. That's as simple as it goes. Step number 3, invite the strongest counter-argument. Leaders don't fear dissent. They mine it. Ego-driven leaders silence opposition because it's much easier, but authority grows stronger under pressure. What action can you take here? Before making a decision, ask your team, what's the smartest argument against this plan? You want to invest in something, you want to get that one part again that your wife maybe doesn't want you to get or your partner doesn't want you to get. Ask her about 3 arguments against your decision and then think about it, sleep over it. That's how it works. And step number 4, own mistakes publicly fast. Nothing builds trust like a leader who admits mistakes before being called out. Ego hides errors. Authority turns them into credibility. Do the same with your partner. Happy wife, happy life. An action that you can take here: next time you're wrong, say it immediately and then describe the fix. Say, what can we do better? How can we come to a solution easier if we work together? Step number 5, let results do the bragging. Authority compounds in evidence. When the decision works, let outcomes speak louder than your words. What action can you take here? Share wins by spotlighting the team, not yourself. Quiet authority outlasts loud ego. What's the deeper meaning here? Why does this matter? Well, authority without ego matters because trust is the currency of leadership. People don't follow volume. They follow clarity. They don't want perfection. They want honesty. The deeper truth: ego is brittle, but authority built on humility, that's something that's unbreakable, tribe. The leader who doesn't need to be right is the one people trust to lead when it matters most. And that's what you want to achieve with your team. Abraham Lincoln built authority by inviting dissent. His team of rivals strategy showed confidence without ego. He wanted the strongest counter-arguments in the room before deciding. And how would that be in business? Why wouldn't you want to do that? Most probably the counter-argument is exactly what you're not seeing. That's someone else shining a light into one of your blind spots. And why would you not illuminate that? That's how you do it. That's what will bring you data and information from all sides. 360-degree feedback, 360-degree input. That's how you can get the best product. One of my clients, a regional director that I recently coached, used to dominate meetings with long, jargon-filled monologues. We shifted him to 3 practices: plain speech, specific commitments, and publicly owning errors. Within 6 months, his team satisfaction score rose and turnover, believe it or not, dropped by 30%. His authority didn't shrink when he cut the theatrics. It grew. And that's how it will work when you do these things. It's important that we understand these concepts because those are the ones that really get our teams to trust and to commit and follow us because they want to, not because we're telling them to. Let me give you 3 advanced strategies. The ego audit. At the end of each day, ask, was that decision about being right or about doing what's right? Document moments where ego interfered, write it in a journal. That's data, that's patterns that you can observe, and that's how you can make change. The 80% rule of authority. Don't wait for perfect data. Authority is built when leaders decide with 80% of the information and refine later. Ego waits for perfection and authority acts. Neuroscience of humility. Research shows that when leaders admit mistakes, it reduces threat responses in the team's brains, increasing psychological safety. Ego spikes cortisol. Humility lowers it, keeping teams engaged under pressure. And that's what you want to achieve: psychological safety. And here, short and sweet, that was your episode. I will give you your weekly challenge that you can immediately implement. So this week, run the authority without ego drill. In your next meeting, speak in 1 sentence what matters most. Number 2, end with 1 clear, specific commitment. Number 3, ask your team for the strongest counter-argument. Number 4, when a mistake happens, own it first. And number 5, track whether the clarity you created increased trust more than theatrics ever could. That's it. That's for the week. I want you to do those things and you will see the change. And my call to action for you, if today's episode challenged you, share it with someone who still thinks authority is about volume. Subscribe, review, and join me every Monday as we dismantle myths of leadership and performance. And thank you, as always, to our sponsor, Doc Marty. Just as true authority doesn't rely on ego, true performance doesn't rely on hacks. It relies on foundations. Marty's work fuels clarity, focus, and recovery for leaders and people that choose resilience over theatrics. So head over to docmarty.com, and if you use the code DAN20, DAN20, you get an exclusive to the Success Blueprint 20% discount on your first purchase. Head over to docmarty.com. Marty is as passionate about people as I am. You won't regret it. And my closing thought for you: authority is not the loudest voice in the room. It's the clearest. It's the one willing to admit mistakes. Invite dissent and commit with precision. Ego builds noise, authority builds trust. I want you to lead without ego and then watch how many will follow. That's true leadership. So I'll leave you for the week. I hope that you have a fantastic one, guys. This was a quick one, and that was Daniel Craig Johnson, your host on the Success Blueprint, with my promise: I'll be back. Take care, tribe.